we are going to get into the Us Watching Us for this week from this moment. And Us Watching Us is a series of videos where we watch videos of us from like 2010, where we traveled around the world for a year-ish and a half-ish. Mm-hmm. And we are going to be picking up in the 5th country that was on that list. And that country is Indonesia. And this is, I believe, we watched only 1 week of Indonesia. And now we're on the 2nd week of Indonesia. Was last week the first week of Indonesia?
You mean like the weeks of us watching us? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we were in Jakarta.
Okay, so this is the 2nd week.
Jakarta and more, maybe.
Yeah, we did more because we went on
Kurita
and Charita, yeah, and Krakatau or whatever, however it's pronounced. So we're still going to be exploring in.
We've gotten a request to play the video
Indonesia.
at 2 times speed.
Just do it twice as fast.
Yeah.
How hard could it be? Indonesia.
That's
okay.
wide enough. I said that's wide enough.
Is it?
Yeah.
You do not like it when I zoom further out?
Well, you usually break it, so.
Too wide?
It's way too wide.
It's way easier with the mouse. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in Indonesia here. So as we had talked before, we did Costa Rica, we came to Thailand, we Malaysia, Singapore, and then we went down into the most populous island of Jakarta, or of Indonesia, which is the island of Java. And last week we went down here and we had spent the time in Jakarta, and then we came over here to this far coast over here, and we went to Labuan, and we went out to the island of Krakatau, and that was kind of the cool thing that happened.
Already way better than Google Earth.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just more.
It labeled the island.
Yep.
Whereas it wasn't labeled before.
And if I wanted, I could basically get the Google Earth thing, and it kind of.
And it's splotching out.
Yeah, well, it's just because it's satellite footage, right? So, anyways,
satellites are broken.
Yeah, I need new satellites. How hard could it be?
Thanks for the follow, Grim Wrath Gaming.
Oh yeah, wow. Hey, thank you.
I'm a good reader.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. So we are going to be watching videos of us from back when we went from this area. I believe we took a bus through Jakarta, or a train happened, I think, because I don't remember exactly. I know we bussed and then maybe trained, and I think we're going to end up in Bogor. Is that a word?
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds.
But I don't know.
Memorable.
How would you spell that?
Bogor.
O-R?
Yeah, but I could be wrong. Yeah, West Java.
Okay.
It's the first option.
Oh, it's like south of Jakarta.
Okay.
I didn't remember that. For some reason, I thought it was further over. And I don't remember. I have no idea why we went there. I don't remember anything about this. I remember this was... all I remember about this was that we stayed at that hotel that had that big TV and stuff, and the lady wouldn't let us use it. I think that was the little town.
Oh, this is where we rerun into the people from
the previous
Charita.
the French guy. I remember we ran into them. I want to offer. Oh, hey, we got to ban a person. Do you want to do it?
Yeah.
I actually don't know how. You should be able to long press it or something.
It's weird that it's dimmed now.
Yeah.
Yes, the bots have arrived. Did you bring them with you?
We
will not tolerate this.
Yeah, it dimmed it. Okay, here we go. It's working over here. Ban. Boom.
Bye. Your offer is not accepted.
Okay, and I think we went to a museum or something where there was animals, dead animals or something like that. You grew up near Bogor train station, and you're there right now. Oh, word. Sorry, we don't remember your town.
It will depend on what happens there.
Yeah, and then after that, we're going to watch a few episodes today because they're kind of short ones. We made our way from here. I think we went back to Jakarta to get on the airplane, and we ended up flying with the intention of going to the island of Flores, which is this-ish island, maybe somewhere in this island. This is the island of Flores. So the goal was to get to Flores because we wanted to then go to the Komodo National Park and see the Komodo dragons. We will get all the way to see Komodo dragons in the rewatching tonight.
I feel like I've never seen this map.
Oh, like you didn't realize that this is...
Yeah, like I floated through this. I floated through that stuff, but I didn't really have an understanding of what it looked like.
We didn't make it all the way to Komodo. We only went to
Rinca.
Because
Rinca looks cool as shit.
It was amazing. It was really, really cool.
I like the shape of that island. It's really cool looking.
Last week, we talked about how amazing it was to go up to that volcano and stuff, and how it was just like, you got to have those moments. This was another one of those things that... And I talked about how like Indonesia was either really exciting or kind of like, like it was extreme on one end or the other.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Maybe that's what Indonesia is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So that was what our trip was. Why is it that I was watching? You guys set your alarm, Bao. Okay, so I think that gets us set up for what we're going to be doing. I wonder how much it costs to travel around the world. Very, very variable and hard to say a number. It depends on your locations. It depends on you, what you're willing to like live in, what you're...
How low will you stoop?
Yeah, like how dirty of a hotel are you okay with? Are you okay with local transport?
You can do anything.
Well, yeah. I mean, like some people do it. Like some people look at the way we traveled around the world and they're like, okay, that's insane. Like you absolutely should not have stayed in some of the places you stayed in. It was like dangerous or dirty or whatever people assume. And
other people are like, that's totally safe, and I would go even cheaper than that.
Some people are sleeping in tents the entire time. So it really depends on how much, and like it depends on how many flights you take, because that's the most expensive part really when it comes down to it, when you're usually, depending on where you're traveling. But I mean, you can travel around in like Southeast Asia and stuff really cheap. Shockingly cheap. So yeah, it really depends on your destinations.
Yeah.
I mean, like when we came to Japan, it was shockingly expensive to us, like obscenely expensive. We spent 5 weeks in Japan. I think it was more expensive than the previous 5 months that we had spent in like Eastern Asia and Southeast Asia. It was crazy. Okay, I'll get into it. You know how confusing it is to have two computers at the same time? I'm over here clicking on the wrong one. Okay, so we need to watch this one. And we are going to need our headphones.
I'm also curious as to why we visited.
Yeah, I hope we say, because I don't know if we...
We need you to give us the write out on how we're supposed to be saying this. Bogor is what we were saying.
We need it in katakana.
Katakana onegaishimasu.
Bogor is the name of the town that we are about to watch ourselves visit.
It's
we don't
kind
remember.
of like a region, not just a town.
Yeah, it seemed like it, didn't it?
It seemed relatively big.
Yeah. Did I flip the thing?
Yeah, there is a city.
Yeah, it's like it did make a thing earlier, but I don't know. It's this area just south of Jakarta.
Wow.
Just get a verification from everybody that the audio is working for the episode. That'd be great.
Leaving Kurita was kind of insane.
Okay. So we were over in that coastal town and we ended up, you're going to explain it. This was a defining moment in our trip to me, getting out of that town. It was scary. It was like the first time I think we'd been like scared. Like,
I can remember like getting into the back of a van, and that's really all I remember. So this is going to be me telling me what happened.
We were like standing in the street and lots of people going around us on motorcycles, and it was nuts. And it was like us and the other two, the two French people, Alex and whatever, Julie. Anyway, So this is going to be probably a long shot of the bus and Katie talking. I think that's what I edited this like.
The four of us, me, Eric, Alex, and Julie, all got in one van together. We needed to go to the ATM, and then...
And if you remember coming into this town, we had some trouble with people trying to basically hyperinflate prices at us and try to kind of basically not rob us bang bang, but like rob us, like just be shitty with us and try to get more money out of us, extort us.
Into the bus station. We negotiated with the driver of the van to pay 20,000 rupiah. Everything was going fine. He drove down the road for a little while, and then he just decided to get out and came to the side door, requested the 20,000 rupiah from us. We paid him and asked him if the driver that was stepping in was going to be fine with that. He assured us that everything was cool, and the driver went on. He stopped at the ATM. We got the money out that we needed. The driver went maybe like 20 feet from there. He pulls over and starts talking to someone, and then turns around requesting money from us to continue driving. And we just repeatedly tell him, we've already paid the previous driver, we've already paid the previous driver. Soon enough, the entire town is at the door of the van trying to translate what the driver's saying, but nobody speaks English, and we just continue to tell him we've already paid, we've already paid. Soon enough, the driver starts going, but he manages to turn the van around in the opposite direction of the bus station. So once we figure out that this guy doesn't give a crap about the four people sitting in the van that need to go to the bus station, we try to just repeatedly tell him bus station, bus station, bus station. Eric ends up getting extremely angry, puts on his angry face, and makes that guy pull over. We get out. We don't have any maps of the area, and a man approaches us and we ask him which direction it is to the bus station. He actually points in the wrong direction, just basically being dishonest. We are then surrounded by a bunch of motorcyclists who are offering to take us to the bus station for tons of different prices.
Dude, we were standing in the middle of the road while this was all going on. These bikes were just zooming around us in circles. And like all four of us were there, and it was nuts.
Kind of want to message Alex.
Like, do you remember this moment?
Do you remember this moment? Alex and Julie, they negotiate their price, and they're on their way to a minivan that's heading to the destination of their choice. We then negotiate our people to get to the bus station.
These motorbikes.
The negotiated price was 10,000 rupiah. I get on one, Eric gets on another, and we head down to the bus station. We see Alex and Julie as we're going down the road at their minivan. Hope everything went well with them. Once we get to the bus station, which is only a few more minutes down the road, the guy then asks for 20,000 rupiah. And at this point, we're just so stupefied with the situation, we just laugh at them. And he laughs back like he knows that he completely just tried to take more money from us. So we paid them what we were cool with, and we went over to the bus station, which we are immediately approached by a man who we ask, how can we get to Bogor? Which
some dude got on the bus, told us he was a bus driver or something, and tried to get us to give them money. But he had nothing to do with the bus.
They weren't a couple, and we don't have their contact addresses. This is like the instant era, like Facebook and shit. Yeah. What are you talking about? Broccoli donut.
I think he means
write him a postcard.
I think they mean, do you know them on the internet at all? I don't think they mean literally an address.
Contact address? Oh yeah, I guess that could be an email. My bad. Going. He says you can't go directly to Bogor, you have to go through Jakarta, which we already kind of knew that was the fact. So we ask him what bus is going to Jakarta, and he tells us this is the bus that's going, and we try to negotiate a price with him. And he actually says 50,000 rupiah, which we were expecting 80,000 rupiah. So when he said 50,000 for the two of us, we were extremely excited. We got on the bus and we sat down. He comes up a few minutes later and requests the 50,000 rupiah, and we've kind of started to learn our lesson, so we say, where's the driver? And we just start requesting that somebody who's going to be on the bus take our money so that we have kind of a verbal agreement that we've paid for this ride.
We've learned all of this in the last 20 minutes of the trip. Like, it's just like, okay, you can't trust anybody. This is different than it was when we were in Thailand and Malaysia and stuff. Like, we didn't have to deal with this type of dishonesty. And honestly, once we got into got out of this part of Indonesia, it kind of went away too. I don't remember having this problem except for in this part of the country. Not that we went everywhere, but that was just our experience.
That guy slowly just saunters off, and we never see him again. He was literally trying to get 50,000 rupiah out of us before the bus left so that he could just get paid for nothing. I don't know. A guy that's on the bus, once we start going, he actually requests 100,000 rupiah, which is really $10. Don't think these are scary prices. That's how much it cost to get there, so we decided not to argue with him. We paid him his 100,000 rupiah, and we made our way to Jakarta. Needless to say, after all of the bartering and annoyances that come along with the buses and with minivans, we decided once we got to Jakarta that we wanted to try the train system. And that turned out very, very well. Travel by train in Jakarta. Dear Lord, travel by train. After 5 days here in Indonesia, we have basically decided that we're going to step off to one more place, and if it doesn't work out, we're going to leave Indonesia, because we've been traveling for 4 months and we have never had to deal with this much dishonesty, and that's just, it makes things hard and unenjoyable.
Do you think that, I'm trying to remember when you would have recorded that?
It had to be relatively close, like within a day.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't script that or anything. You just sat there and said it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah,
I don't remember the wanting to leave the country. I don't remember that aspect. I remember being very frustrated and being like annoyed with the situation, but I don't remember being like, okay, we're gonna try one more place and then leave. I don't remember that being in my head, and I don't know how we got calmed down and ended up staying. I don't remember what changed our minds, if that's how we were feeling.
I think that when we went to Flores, things really did change.
But we're going to Bogor. You said we're going to try one more place, Bogor.
So what happens in Bogor that
because we essentially do leave after... No, because we went to...
The siren call of Komodo dragons.
The bus companies buy the right to service a line, but no obligation to do regular service. Thus, a driver will understandably only do things he feels beneficial. Katie's right. Trains are regular. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, thank you for the sub, Philodos. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I get the idea with the like economics for the bus thing. It wasn't the bus driver, at least the long distance bus driver, that was a problem. We had a problem, obviously, with the first little shuttle thing that we took to the bus station. They clearly scammed us. Like, the guy jumped in and then took our money and then left, and then the next guy tried to get our money again. Like, we bargained the price to get to the station, not to get to the next bus driver. And they were just like, and then the other guy could just play dumb. And like, I just remember being in the van in the street, and it stopped, and all of these people are like, so we're surrounded by people like on the outside of the van, like like it was like nuts on the outside of the van, like the van was like shaking and stuff.
I wonder if I was actually so scared, or at least like this was so unbelievable that my brain did not record it.
Yeah. So, and then I don't remember getting angry, but I can see that. I can see my reaction that.
I can feel something about that.
Anyway, so it was like a zombie movie. It was nuts. And I just remember, I remember being in the van and all that happening. And then I remember being out of the van on the street, and these kids on motorbikes are just like circling us.
Wow.
And it was just like, Jesus, man, what is going on? We've got all our stuff.
You can't think straight.
And you can't think straight.
And you've got two people that aren't your people, so you don't know how to talk to them.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we'd been talking to them for days at that time, but that still doesn't mean that in a pressure situation, you know how to communicate with those people. Yeah. It was just intense.
And you know that you're standing there with like valuables on you. You've got money. They just took you to an ATM. Like, it's just like all these things that happen. It's just like, man, where is this going? It could be rough. Would you go to that country?
Does Eric even have an angry face? Wow. Hope you never see it. I've seen it 3 times I can remember, and probably more. Maybe four times, and you don't want to be on the other side.
And yeah, I know the motor. We understand the economics, like with all this stuff going on. It's just like when people are trying to swindle you, or like the guy that like, oh yeah, this is the bus, and then pay me the money, and then he didn't have anything to do with the bus. Like, it's just dishonesty and dishonesty and dishonesty. You can't trust anybody, and it just kind of ruins the experience. Would I go back to Indonesia? Yeah, absolutely. I'd go back. This doesn't break it down for me totally. But it was intense.
If they haven't, oh, never mind. I'm talking about something else.
Ojek in Indonesian.
What's the technology face?
Probably when I'm annoyed with technology. It's a different face.
Oh, no, it's different.
Okay, let's see where we get in.
If I am in danger, it's a different face.
You? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, this is on the train. It was like full of these bugs.
On this train just opened at a stop, and the cabin filled with these like horrible little bugs. They look like bees with really big wings. I don't have any idea what they are, but there's not as many in the air as there were a few minutes ago. They're getting sucked up to this vent, but there was an awful lot of them, and it was kind of
gross.
Kind of a surprise.
Are there termites? Holy shit.
I don't think so.
That's what he says. He lives there.
Oh, shit. They fly?
Here's another example of really cheap things in Indonesia. This is
I can
soap.
smell this aisle.
Single bar of soap. This is Lux, which is like a good soap. It's designer, like kind of. It's like the equivalent to Dove. It works really well. It's just, good stuff. It's not ghetto. And it is about 19 cents for one bar. So, I mean, what's that cost in the States? $1.50 or something? More?
I don't know.
Anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Tube of toothpaste, 40 cents. I'm not sure the brand. Or a huge tube, big tube. It's 89 cents or 90 cents about.
Pepsodent.
I
love going to the store.
Something they would have in the States is what I'm looking for.
Head and Shoulders.
Tell me if I'm crazy.
Head and Shoulders.
Here's Head and Shoulders. It's about $1.70 for some Head and Shoulders, 180
Pantene's
milliliters.
also there.
So I have no idea what that works out to, how much that would be in the States, but it's like $1.60, $1.70. All right, so here's an idea of what we just spent at the supermarket. And if you look at what we just bought, you're going to...
Who's this rhino over here?
Who's this rhino?
Strawberry something?
I think all we do is eat junk food and sit around and wash ourselves and brush our teeth. But that's only most of what we do. We ended up getting 3 bottles of water. This is only 2. We already drank one of them. Each bottle of water is 620 milliliters, just to give you an idea on the size of everything else. This is a standard sized soda. It's like a strawberry drink. We haven't tried it yet, but we'll find out. This is your typical, you put, hot water instant noodles type thing inside of it.
I have no idea what the store was. I don't remember this at all.
2 bags of peanuts, 2 things of toothpaste, a roll of grape.
Why'd we get 2 things of toothpaste?
And
brush our teeth.
Soap. And it came to like $3.20 after you.
We used to have our toiletries split up.
That, and also you don't do whitening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do the conversion. So, next time you go to Walmart and you buy anything, just, keep that in mind. It'll make you feel better.
You're subsidizing Indonesia.
All right, it's been a while since I've made a video of any place that we've been staying. And it's been partly because we haven't been any place any place remarkable or interesting. They've just been kind of your normal everyday place. But this place is kind of interesting, so I thought I'd make a video of this. And also because we're in Bogor, and there's nothing else to make a video of. We came here, we're going to use it as a jumping off point to go to Eastern Java, but on the way here I was looking at the book and looking at our timeline and decided I want to try to get Komodo, so we have to kind of go back the other direction to get there. So
we came here for no reason.
Coming here, but
Dude's in the chat.
What? Dude's in the chat?
Dude's in the chat. Your place was a waste of time. Wow, that's embarrassing for us. Oh, wow.
Krakatoa with when we got here, which is kind of remarkable because it's long distance between the two. And the first night we got here, we hung out with them and we went to dinner and went to a market and got some fruits and stuff. So it's kind of
Oh, I remember that.
Yesterday we got up and kind of did nothing, and then went to some botanical gardens and spent some time on the internet, and that was about it. So it was pretty relaxing. But anyway, back to the guest house. Now you're caught up completely on Bogor. That's all we did. So we're going to try to escape today, either on a train or a bus back to Jakarta, so we can try to catch a flight to go to Bali. Then we can take a flight to Flores, which then we can take a chartered boat to Komodo. It's very
This was like a long chain of events that had to work out to make this just to go see these dragons.
You look smart.
There's a lot of travel in our near future. So anyways, this is a place, Abu Penzone or something is what it's
Oh
called.
my god.
And from the outside, it just looks like your standard Indonesian little villa, whatever. Like it's gonna be dumpy. And then you come inside.
Focus.
Yeah, what did we want to watch on the TV?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I think we had a movie and we
like
saw that we could hook up our TV to the thing.
Only time we ever wanted to watch anything ever, and they wouldn't let us.
Yeah.
And it gets pretty amazing, actually. Like, you get into this like section in here, and it's
It's cool.
well gardened, and there's all this amazing stuff, and it's like kind of like a labyrinth. Like there's stairs going up everywhere, and there's another set over there, and then you've got a spiral staircase over here. And the weirdest thing is this little area here is just really bizarre for like a cheap hotel place in Southeast Asia.
And
It feels
it's
like
Kind
outside.
of. It's covered, but it's
covered.
outside. Yeah.
a Western living room, like a lot. And we sat here and watched some.
Oh, no. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, what did we watch? I can almost remember it. I can almost see it. Oh, I'm going to say it. It's going to drive me nuts.
Movie last night
It.
on this large TV and the stereo speakers, and I mean this is really out of place for what we're used to. And then they've got a kitchen, and steps come up here, and then you can go up a little further, and there's a kitchen up there and some places to eat.
We watched a
And
whole
the spiral
movie
staircase
together.
always catches my eye. It's weird. It's really much nicer than what we've been staying at. And I mean, I think the room is maybe $14 or $15 a night, so it's definitely not breaking the bank. And our room is down this direction. Like,
Yeah, this place is like a maze.
like, here's some more steps. It's just, you can get lost looking for your own room.
Yeah, that's true.
And then you can go down further to another room, and
You could also fall.
kind of got a view of this little river, and the river isn't all that good looking. It's pretty funky, actually. Definitely not the nastiest one there is, but it's obvious that the people over there just throw their trash right there.
God damn.
And there's definitely some sewage exhausts that shoot out there. There's no odor or anything, though, so it's not all that bad. But the sound of the river at night, we can hear it really well in our room because our windows are right there, and it's really pleasant to just hear this, river flowing. And it beats all the other things that we've had to listen to while we slept in the past. And here's our room number blank 06. Are you decent? Okay. And this is our room. And it is clean, and there's a television, which is kind of odd, but no air conditioning.
Pause. That's odd. I've been playing with televisions like all the time. We have so much video of me playing with TVs.
I don't know. You gotta ask me from 11 years ago or whatever. Used to hang out at the arcade just a steps for a few steps from the hotel. That's wild.
Bad. We've got a fan, and it actually gets so chilly at night, we have to shut the fan off. So, hasn't been that big of a deal.
We were there in January.
And then the standard restroom, Western toilet, thankfully, and shower, which is very, very cold. There's no hot water. Those two levers there, this is not hot. This is just lever. Indicate heat. So, and that's about it. And that covers our entire adventure to Bogor. And we're going to now try to get on out of here.
Yeah, it was clean. It was maybe just old.
This is typical of Indonesia. No smoking. and then you walk through a big cloud of smoke on the way to whatever. No smoking is really a recommendation, kind of like the lines on the road, which nobody follows, but it's all good.
That was in the airport.
Today was a typical travel day for us, and our
Yeah.
destination was Bali to get to Flores. So this morning we woke up in Bogor, and we managed to find our way to a little bus that our hotel lady had told us about, and this little mini bus takes you to an international airport bus station. And it took us a while. Once the little mini bus dropped us off, we went to the wrong side of the road, and then we went back to the other side of the road, and we found the place by talking to some police officers. And in the States, police officers really don't seem that helpful because they're in cars and you never see them on the streets or anything, but they're on the streets here, so we can ask them questions, and they're very helpful. So they got us on the right bus, and on that bus,
Are we in a pool?
you know when you step onto the bus and you go up the steps and then you go back to all the chairs? Well, that area where you step on the bus, that's where we sat, because they were fully booked. We barely even had seats, but they had made these little cushions onto plywood that we could sit on, and it was fine. We rode for about an hour and a half to Jakarta, and that bus ride was 30,000 rupees, which is $3. Rupa. Whatever. You sound like I'm in Zelda. So that was $6 for the both of us. So then once we got to Jakarta, we went to the airport, and it took us a while to find Lion Air, and we went through all these different means to get a credit card swiped, and we finally got that done, and our tickets were 1,138 rupees.
$120.
$120, and we got onto our plane, which was a pretty hefty plane. It was big, but it wasn't packed with people. There were still some open seats from Jakarta to Bali. And from Bali, once we got there, we got off of our plane, and they put us on a little bus, and that little bus went about 60 feet from, like, we walked out onto the runway, kind of, into that little bus, and that bus went the 60 feet, and then it let us off at the terminal, and we walked out there trying to find if we could get a ticket to Flores.
I talk about that little bus ride like it's
Unique.
kind of novel.
Yeah, it's not though.
It's not. They make us do that all the time now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sky it's ridiculous.
Either that night or what it would be the next day, and none of the places were open, so we took the book's advice and we started walking out of the airport, like going for the vehicle exit.
I remember this walk.
And,
Me too.
we got touted by a million people, and they're so annoying. Even when we got to the outside of the airport, this guy was just sticking to us like glue, asking us, taxi, 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 where are you going, taxi, taxi. Drove me nuts, and I got a little angry. We ended up walking like 3 blocks, and we found a really expensive hotel, and we decided we weren't going to stay there, but we were approached by a guy named Sani, and he brought us to the hotel that we're in right now, which has a pool, and it's $35 a night, which is really out of our budget, but it's convenience to get us to the airport tomorrow, so we can just walk there and not have to worry about getting a taxi and knowing if they're going to take us there. Security is everything. And our hotel room is pretty nice. It's your typical Holiday Inn with 2 twin beds and no bathtub.
It was like a super Western hotel, and it was like, I remember being very close to the airport, like you had mentioned. I think our flight the next day was pretty early.
So that's where we're at, and $35, and it's time to swim.
That was an extraordinary amount of money for us at the time, though. I think it was the most we'd spent.
Oh, we might have spent more in New York.
Well, I mean, like
Yeah.
in Asia at the time, but at that point.
I am in my underpants in the pool.
Today was a typical. You're gonna just start that.
Granny died.
Yeah, when was that? Yeah,
I found out that night.
was it?
It was either that night or the next day. It had to have been that night because we were planning on leaving on the airplane the next day. I remember getting the information. I remember going and sitting in the shower for an extraordinarily long amount of time, not knowing how to assess that information. I still kind of
Are you
lost.
sure it wasn't on the flight back after Flores?
Did we stay at the same hotel?
We did. We stayed at the exact same
Granny's
hotel.
still alive? Good.
Yeah, I think it was afterwards.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that hotel is just filled with Granny's death. That's all that is.
Um,
Then I guess maybe I'll talk about it at that time.
yeah. So what had just transpired there was we had gone from over here up to Jakarta down to Bogor. We stayed there for a couple days. I think we have some pictures I'll show later to fill in a little bit more of what we did. And then we went back to Jakarta, and then we flew all the way to Bali, which is this island here. And we just stayed right by that. We didn't actually explore Bali at all, even though we stayed on the island twice, just connecting through, because there were no, at the time, flights to get us all the way over to Flores. So you had to connect. You had to land in Bali and then connect over. And I don't remember what the deal was, but we had to stay the night in Bali both times because like the time schedules don't work or something. Like you can't just like get on one plane and then get on the next one. I don't remember the details on any of that. So anyway, we do have more though. Let's do more. So this will be a video of us staying in this little town of Labuan, Bajo, I think is how you say it.
Bajo.
Here, let me get I keep moving the mouse like a goofus. And it's this little tiny kind of like, I wouldn't say it was like a gross town or anything. It was just kind of like a
Kind of shanty-esque.
shanty kind of town. Nobody was bad to us there or anything. I don't know where it is. I thought it was like on the coast. Oh, here we go. It's labeled up here. So maybe it was like this thing, and I've just got the name wrong. Labuan Bajo. Yeah, this seems about right. This was someplace like in this area. And again, the reason we didn't have time to explain Bali, we had I think we only had 30 days that we could be in the country because of our visa or whatever.
Okay, yeah, that
so
makes sense.
because we had to make all these weird connections to get there, it was like, okay, we don't have time. And I think we thought we'll go to Flores, we'll explore like the stuff that we want there. And then on the way back, we know we're going to have to come through again. And at that point, we'll explore Bali. But we didn't end up having time because I remember having to wait many days for rain to clear up to be able to get on a boat and go over to see the dragons, which was, again, our entire purpose of being there.
Yeah.
So, and then we ended up doing this incredible trip across Flores on a motorbike. It was freaking amazing. And we'll be talking about that next week. Labuan, Bajo, Bajo.
Labuan.
Labuan, Bajo.
Jo. I don't know how phonetics work.
Yeah. But anyway.
Bujo.
Yeah. So basically anybody that wants to go to where the Komodo dragons are, which I think is Rinca, Komodo, and there actually are some on Flores, but I guess it's a really small number. But they're like, you see them every once in a while, like on the beaches or something. You have to go to this island and then connect over. It's like the only way to do it, or it was at the time, or that's my memory. And you have to be able to charter a boat, and the weather has to be right, and like there's a whole bunch of things that have to happen like to make it work all right. So anyway, we had gone there, and it's possible that like the weather wouldn't have worked and we couldn't have done anything, and the whole thing would have been a bust. That was totally a risk. Mm-hmm. But we ended up putting a few days into waiting and stuff. And this is us making videos during the time that we're waiting for that. And at one point we did rent a motorbike for a day. And just like we went up in the woods or something for a day or something, but I don't remember exactly. So we'll get into that a little bit as soon as I put this in the right place and verify that you guys can see. Sweet. These are our tickets to Komodo. Or, well, Flores, which then we can charter a boat to Komodo.
What a badass ticket. That motherfucker is gonna bite your head off. You better get on the plane.
We, at this point, we're still on Bali. Again, I don't even know what we ate on Bali. Did we even we went to a restaurant. We walked down the street to a restaurant once, I think. I don't think we did. I barely remember. But anyway, it gives us a chance. I think you can fly direct to Bali from Japan. So maybe we could do that sometime.
Yeah.
We'll see how all this goes. But yesterday we watched.
I don't think Bali's gonna be for us. It's the Chiang Mai of fucking
It's pretty
Indonesia.
unique culturally, though.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, it's Hindu and it's outside of India. Yeah, I have a drive to check it out. I think I'd try to research it and figure out how can you make it cool, as opposed to like
Yoga.
just getting sucked into the things that we
Yoga.
don't care about. I like doing yoga, man. Get your stretch
You
on.
do not do.
I stretch in the
You
morning.
stretch, but you
I
don't.
strep
like
to Gishnu,
doing-
baby.
It's not even a thing. you. Wow, that's offensive, Eric.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So we're prepared.
Oh yeah, we watched Jurassic Park.
Do we watch it with the people, or we just watch?
I think we watched it on our own that night.
To deal with such problems as
Oh, you know what?
this guy.
What had happened? You know what? Where we got it is Alex and Julia. Alex had it on his computer, and he gave me a copy of it.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm gonna back it up because I just
Oh,
want to see what that
man.
is.
Yesterday we watched Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So we're prepared to deal with such problems as this guy.
Pause it.
All right.
If Jurassic Park taught me like really anything, we're gonna die very early on.
Some people made it. Like
Yeah, some
4
people, not us. Not us.
This little plane from Bali to Flores, and this plane has got
Holy shit! A propeller.
it's pretty small. And they just came and thought to have myself a snack.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing so?
Because you started half a sentence and then you just broke. About to have myself a snack.
It's because we've been watching Best in Show. That's what that's from, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is.
About to have myself a snack. I can't wait to find out what's in there. What did they give us?
I hope a dragon jumps out.
Ooh. Oh, snap.
A little pastry that there's probably goat
Meat
in there.
inside of.
This is a little water, which is lovely, and dessert. And Katie is currently dropping a deuce in the air.
That sounds fun.
I sold you out on that.
That's fun.
All right.
So we've landed on Flores, and
It's a lot of planes here.
a lot of planes here. One, ours. And oddly enough, it feels like where I lived in Northern California for a while. Looks really arid and almost like a desert. The book says that they don't get a whole lot of rain here. So, but I mean, just the.
We don't get a whole lot of rain here. We're about to wait it out.
Yeah, it rains for like 3 days or something.
Really almost looks like the Sierra Nevada, and it's called Komodo Airport, but it's not actually Komodo Island.
Still got a lot of hoops to go through.
We still got to figure out how to get there. We have no idea how that's gonna happen. We're now in
We just jumped.
the airport terminal, and we're waiting for baggage to get delivered over here. I guess it's really strange. It looks like we're not allowed to walk out because this gate isn't open.
That's intimidating.
Pretty typical
That's Indonesia.
small town like this.
It wasn't
That's
bad on
what
Florida.
was outside
Yeah,
of
that
the
van.
van. That was the cars circling us. It's just they're waiting.
The people
and they
in-
have to wait at that line.
The people on Flores were dramatically chiller, though. Like, I don't remember getting hassled there at all.
And as the whole town is waiting to tout you and ask you if you want to take a ride or stay at their hotel, or God only knows what they want. So we have our bags because we didn't check anything. So we could probably theoretically leave, but we kind of want to wait until everybody else leaves so that they can split up the touting a little bit. Because it'll be annoying to get hit with the entire town by ourselves. Fun stuff.
And we got time.
Katie needs some motion sickness pills for our next boat voyage, and so we're at a pharmacy, and this is what the pharmacy looks like. This is the street up there, and we came down these steps, And here is actually not a sewage system, but maybe just a runoff or something. And I'm sitting in one of these little plastic chairs, and this is what the pharmacy itself looks like. Really exciting.
And I'm just there. I somehow got through that. Okay.
You
all
just
right.
what? You just jump. So that was the whole experience of this entire trip was just jump.
I don't want to throw up, so I'm going to talk to someone.
So what are you drinking?
Aristocar.
What's in it?
Bunch of weird shit.
That's for sure.
Lime. It's a soda. It's based off of soda. It's like a tonic. And it's got lime and peppermint and some sort of like ginger, and it's a really, really exotic flavor.
Spin it around. No, I mean like with the spoon. That looks disgusting. Oh god. I'm so glad I stuck with the Coca-Cola. Oh.
This is ginger. Yeah.
I don't think I would have known what ginger
I
was
don't know how I
then.
feel about that.
Taste it.
Oh. That's really, really bad, babe. Why'd you do that to me?
This is a gas
Oh.
station. Here's another one.
So we've come to Labuan.
Yeah, so people will go and just go to like a real gas station and then fill these water jugs full of gasoline and then upsell them a little bit in front of their houses. And as you traverse across the island, which you'll see next week, that's the way you get gas, period. Like that's just how the whole system functions. Like there's not gas stations. Your bike can't go far enough to get to each gas station. So you have to fill up along these stopping points just in front of people's houses.
Before you start, this Florian Cooper name, whenever I see this Florian, I think of Flores.
Oh, interesting.
So
That's where we're at in the
yeah.
videos. Yeah.
Bajo, and the main reason that anybody comes here, well, aside from diving, is to go to Komodo and see the Komodo dragons. That's our plan. And we want to go on a 2-day, 1-night adventure. First day you go to Rinca Island, see some dragons, spend the day on the boat, spend the night on the boat, and then the next day you go to Komodo, and then you come back to Labuan Bajo. 2 problems with this. One, we need more.
I think it's probably a good thing. I have fond memories of Flores. Do you?
I have a... Yeah.
Yeah, it was astonishing, this part.
It was astonishing. It was beautiful. It was challenging. It was disgusting. It was tasty. Like, it was... You couldn't have asked for more of a rainbow of experience.
Yeah, it was one of the best weeks of my life. I said that. Like, I'll put that on record.
More people to get on the boat with us so that the price isn't ridiculous. And 2, we need for the weather not to be crazy. It's been raining, and it does not rain on this coast very much. So that's kind of a shocker, and it has made it so that not a lot's going on. We are bored out of our minds because Labuan Bajo doesn't offer very much to do. So we've decided to rent a motorbike, and here's all the stuff we did. We have finally got a motorbike in a very long time, and it's nice to see what we used to see, the things that not many people see in a town like Labuan Bajo, because it's just one road there, there's nothing there. So we're finally getting to see some scenery that feels really good. We've been riding on our motorbike for 45 minutes now, and we've managed to get to the top of a mountain. Hold on, let me show you that. We've parked here, and then people drive around this corner, which is very sharp and quite small for what's going around it, and then they all beep, and then they say hello to us and say, "Hello, mister!" So that's Indonesia, and over there is the ocean, and it's pretty amazing. Like, we're watching people over here work, and they get to look out at this beautiful scenery.
That's me showing how much I like construction.
Epic. All the clouds. It's very, very cool.
That's a good.
That horn sounds real good.
Did you hear the horn on the bike? Went.
I guess I said that something
You
sounds.
said that horn
real
sounds really good. Yeah.
This is the coast here at Labuan, Bajo, and tons of boats. There are even more over to the left that you can't see. There's a little bit of development where we're staying, but most of the people who live here kind of live like this. There are a few random things, like people's houses that we've noticed that are...
Do Indonesians only say hello, mister, to foreigners? Or would they say that to other Indonesians? I kind of assumed it was just like hello foreigner type of like thing. Whoa, your drink is
Wow.
gonna fall. Okay, that's gonna be a problem.
That was amazing.
gigantic in other places that are just kind of like, you live in a shanty town, but your house is that big. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Well, I don't know.
For about 3 days, and gigantic in other places.
God, those goats.
This is the coast here at Labuan, Bajo, and tons of boats. There are even more over to the left that you can't see. There's a little bit of development where we're staying, but most of the people who live here kind of live like this. There are a few random things, like people's houses that we've noticed that are gigantic in other places that are just kind of like, you live in a shanty town, but your house is that big. I don't know. It's been pretty cool. We've been here for about...
This is live.
And we're looking to get to Komodo somehow, some way.
Yeah.
So this is what they mean by the rainy season. Over the past 3 days that we've been here in Labuan, Bajo, it's rained every day. Yesterday was very light, but the day before and today have been heavy for a good couple of minutes. But
I remember like trying to go to places while it wasn't raining while we were here, like going from our hotel to a restaurant, and then it would rain, and then we would just be like, okay, we're going to be in this restaurant until it stops raining.
Yeah.
And then the moment that it stopped raining, we'd try to go back to the hotel.
Yeah, I remember that too. Because it was like torrential rain. It's funny how you use the same words now that you used in the video back then, like shanty. Yeah, we have a limited vocabulary. Each of us knows about 12 words, and we use them over and over.
Really well, though.
Raining a majority of the time that we've been here, so hasn't been bad. You just have cover and stay.
We're not allowed to use ghetto anymore.
Big deal, but it's got pretty heavy all of a sudden.
Lunch on. Oh, I guess it did. This is making me nauseous.
That cat?
Yeah.
Okay, so the good news is, even though we were there and it was just raining and raining and raining, we did eventually make it over to Rinca Island, and that's a video we're going to watch right this second.
Yay!
Oh, I was curious actually, how long were we on that island? Like in that town? So we landed there on the 14th of January. And
if Rinca's happening on the 13th, we were probably there till at least the 18th.
Excuse me?
If we arrived on the 14th and we're going to Rinca, I assumed the boat went back to the Labuan Bajo, and then we would have left as early as the 18th.
I have no idea what you're talking about. We landed in Labuan Bajo on the 14th, and we had to wait to go to Rinca.
I know. I'm saying the same thing.
Okay, okay. We went on the 17th to Rinca Island.
Yep, I see it on the screen.
And then, I have no idea what you're talking about. I can't see the information you can see. Yeah, so it was it was really only a 3-day wait. In my head, it was longer than that.
In my head, it's not longer than that, but it was a very, very small, nothing-to-do place.
Yeah.
I remember talking, to the guy that was going to take us on the boat, and I feel something weird about him. I don't really remember, but I remember having like we had to talk to him daily. Can we go today?
Yeah, you're right.
We
had to go and check in with him over and over. That's right.
And I just remember something slightly fishy about him, but I don't really remember what it was.
And like Katie had said in the video, the initial goal was to go to Rinca Island, explore that, stay the night on the boat, then go to Komodo Island the next day and then come back. That's like the normal tour. But I think the reason that didn't end up happening is because of the weather. Like just the seas were too rough from like the thing. And it was like until the last minute, we didn't know if we were going to be able to go or not.
And another reason that we didn't do such a trip was because we couldn't find other people to get on the boat with us.
But we did eventually. There's a German guy that went with us. There were other people on that boat.
German guy.
Yeah, there was another dude.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot about German guy.
Would I revisit to see what's changed? I would probably like to go back to. I would ride across Flores again. I always wanted to go with a friend and just show them like how amazing it could be. I just want to. I don't know, but maybe it's a waste of time to go to the same place twice. That kind of thing.
That might be one of those like you're crazy if you don't go once, and you're crazy if you go twice.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It was amazing though. It was. And this portion of it as well was amazing. It's just like, it was one of those things like we got to the island and we didn't really know how anything was going to happen. We didn't know how we were going to arrange these things. Everything clicked into place in a way that was like really cool, but we had to wait and there was this boring part and then you got this payoff. And then afterwards we decided we're going to keep going. We're going to ride all the way across the island and stuff. And it just built this like perfect scenario that I don't know if could be recreated. It was just like the perfect situation for us. But anyway, let's check out these dragons, man.
So our dreams of going and staying the night on a boat near Komodo Island were not going to happen because the weather was not looking good. We had been hearing of ferries that were, people were dying on ferries, we heard, which was not good. We did find two...
I just laughed about it. I just laughed
about it.
They're just dying.
I don't know.
Trip to Rinca, which sounded great and managed to make the price good for us.
Okay. So they were going to Rinca and we decided that we would just hook on with them and go. That's how it worked. Okay, I see.
With the Capitan, and it turned out to be the slowest, loudest
it's not gasoline
in the world. It was pretty impressive. We did get to see some dolphins along the way.
Oh, I forgot about that.
As opposed to the huge waves that we had been told about, the water on the way to Rinca was completely flat. It was odd and created an eerie presence.
Yeah, I remember this being spooky. Mm-hmm. I remember it being spooky because when you just trolling in on this boat, it felt like out of a horror movie or something. And you're going onto this island with these Komodo dragons. And if you're not aware, like they really only exist in the wild in this one small area, and they're actually dangerous. Like before we went there, by like a couple weeks, there was a news story of some kid got eaten by one. Like a kid, he was like dropping a deuce, like hanging over a log, and one came up and bit him, and then just like drug him off and ate him. Like what?
That'll happen.
So like it's like they're legitimately dangerous. It's crazy. But yeah, I just remember the scene of just pulling in here in the morning, and it was just a weird
the
vibe.
temperature of the air, the color of the sky, the color of the water, going onto an island that you know is inhabited by a prehistoric beast that will eat people, and you just kind of let all of that sink into you. Like I feel like I can either see myself or somebody that was on the boat, like standing kind of weirdly triumphant.
It was
I don't know.
It was a scene. It was a mood. Were you drinking gasoline? It kind of looks like it in those bottles.
I already referenced that it's not gasoline. Electrolytes.
I suppose this is the island of Rinca, and that means here be dragons. Yar. It's actually slightly creepy coming up into this. It's just the overcast and the really still sea and the dragons.
This is close to the ranger station, and our guide told us that one of his friends had recently been sitting in the office doing...
I can't remember, but I feel like they just were like got the guys on the boat wouldn't get on the island. I feel like they just went, okay, go.
Yeah.
And we had to like walk into this island alone or something. Maybe one guy came with us, but we had to walk out by ourselves or something. I don't know. It felt there was something weird about it.
Doing some paperwork, and a dragon had come into the office unbeknownst to him and chomped him on the leg.
And like they have like bacteria in their mouth that like infects you, and then you can't like move very quickly because you like get sick and then you die. Like that's kind of how it works. Like usually, I think, but because that kid was so small, they were able to like pull him off and eat him. But like the way they kill like water buffalo is they bite him and then wait for a week, and the buffalo dies of like bacterial infections or something like that.
Yeah, and it was kind of scary. Like, just being as close without any guard.
These things are huge.
Motherfucker had a stick, but motherfucker only had a stick.
Yeah. And yeah, so do you remember the rain? It poured on us when we were on this island. It was awesome.
It was Jurassic Park-ness, for real.
There's not like ropes or anything. You know what I mean? It's just like
4 to 5 kilometer walk through the jungles of Rinca.
I remember finding out we were going on a 5-kilometer walk out in the rain and kind of just being like, fuck. This is gonna suck. And then I think things just got kind of to the point where you were like, this is kind of just insane. And then you just drifted into it. Like, it is what it is. This insanity is, yeah.
And we've seen a couple of dragons already in their nests, and it has started to pour. It started to pour. It's not so bad at the moment, but it did rain pretty good for a minute. And the guide has a stick and rubber boots, and I have a camera and a bottle of water to defend myself. And then there's this fellow. He does look pretty happy. It's raining fairly hard now.
all those noises, the clicking noises. That's the water hitting the mic.
Me. Komodo dragon. Me. About 3 feet. That is terrifying. Look at his face. It doesn't look that mean. Kind of looks like he's smiling, but he might have a appetizing recipe for me. Alright, so we are walking on Rinca Island looking for Komodo dragons. The weather, not so great. The wind is blowing extremely hard, and it feels like little needles hitting your skin. It's not terrible, but it could be sunny.
Yeah, like that dude just had a stick.
On the way back, we stopped beside a little island that
My heart is like up.
and we got to jump off the top of the boat, which was
Are we holding hands?
Yeah.
I bet we are holding hands.
top of the boat. And then he proceeded to hold my hand as we jumped into the water together, shouting "Satu, dua, tiga!"
I am definitely outgoing, but I need that
Today
little
we went
bit.
to Rinca, I think that's how you say it, and we saw the Komodo dragons, and we've been planning for a little while, thinking about going on a motorbike trek from here to ND, which is about 500 kilometers away on a motorbike. So we've been thinking about it, and I can tell you right now we've got a motorbike outside, and we're going to do it tomorrow. Basically, we're thinking we're going to be out there for 8 days on a motorbike, and we have come to the conclusion that we need to put all of our stuff in one bag and leave one bag behind here in Labuan, Bajo, and leave it with somebody here. Just a whole bunch of stuff that we're kind of thinking we may not need. So what I've done is I've gone through my bag and I've just kind of tried to figure out what really I need and what I really don't need. And
So the reason behind this is that the motorbike that we rented was like a 125cc scooter, basically. And there was no room for both of our bags. So we had to get down to just like a week's worth of stuff and leave anything that was extracurricular behind. And we left it with the motorbike guy. The guy that rented us the motorbike. I remember that. And I remember when I remember meeting him and going, and he had a guitar, and he was
like super chill.
Yeah, he was super chill.
Shockingly chill.
And he was like into Metallica. And he let me play his guitar for a little bit. I remember this. I think he was in a band, maybe? Because I remember there's like a metal band playing in the distance one night. I think we found out that it was him or something. I don't remember. The whole thing was, we just found a good hookup for a motorbike. He was nice and held our bags. And that's kind of nerve-wracking when you leave a bunch of your stuff with somebody. You know what I mean? Like, what's going to happen? But we had his motorbike.
Yeah.
So.
This pile is the stuff that I do need. I got my clothes, I've got the random odds and ends, jacket, passport and credit card stuff, and all the toiletries.
Those numbers are
mine
visible.
and Eric's. There's a helmet, definitely gonna need that. Over here's all the stuff that I don't need. It's a pretty damn big pile. A couple of shirts that I won't be needing, a bag of odds and ends, toiletries that are doubles because there's Eric and mine. We've put them together. A bunch of medicine that we've used some of it, but not all of it. Some other clothing and just a whole bunch of crap. Eric's doing the same thing. I really can't understand his piles. That's okay. I guess he'll give me his stuff. So we're basically...
Your umbrella had a character on it. It's a Japanese character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where did we get that?
I could see possibly getting it in Thailand. Thailand really likes...
the same thing. I really can't understand.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who that guy is. I don't know the name, but I've seen it like in the last week.
Like maybe it's a sound yellow thing? Like a Hello Kitty thing?
Yeah, something like that.
Understand his piles, but that's okay. I guess he'll give me his stuff.
What's in this pile? This is an MP3 player. A little little tiny MP3, and these are headphones.
The headphone with the little spinner
and
box.
It spins up.
Yeah, that shit's fucking delightful.
Yeah, and then this thing is you're supposed to wear it around your neck and put a passport in it, and like that kind of thing. But we ended up wearing it around our hip because it was like you could see it through your shirt and stuff, and that just didn't seem very safe.
People would try and possibly tear it off your neck.
So we put it on our hip, but then we realized too late that if you put a passport on your hip and don't put it in a plastic bag, your sweat makes the passport disgusting. So we ended up having to then put a plastic bag and blah, blah, blah. But we wore those things on us all the time.
I think that's floss.
Yeah, that's floss. There's no iPod. I didn't have an iPod.
There's a floss and then
I don't
headlamp.
I don't know what the black thing. That might be a...
Can you use that? Because they can't see... Well, they can't see the mouse, can they?
Oh, I can mouse. Yeah. Well, then it does this.
Well.
This is a headlamp. This is a USB stick.
Oh, okay.
That I was using.
It looks like a lead container for, like, pencil lead.
I don't know what this is. It could be a hard drive.
Could be a hard drive.
It's possible. It's kind of hard to tell.
Or a battery.
This is a compass and a thermometer.
And then there's more medicine on your bed.
A PDA, no. And then
obviously
Listerine.
the book, Listerine.
This might be the hard drive. Yeah, this is kind of mysterious. I'm not sure what this one is.
It's not Pepe. Pepe's dead.
Oh, it might have been my DS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a DS
You had a
with
black
me.
one too?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But yeah, I had a DS with me. Funny thing about that, I had a DS and I had loaded Wikipedia on it. And it was only text. And I would use it to read about places we were going. Like, we're going to like this new country. I need to read like the Wikipedia about the country and kind of understand the history. I was reading Wikipedia on the DS because like there were no like smartphones and stuff like to this. They existed, but it wasn't like what it is now.
It was a smart idea.
Yeah, it was pretty smart. I learned a lot. It was good.
So we're basically trying to fit all of our stuff for 8 days into my little bag. And then we're going to stuff the rest of our stuff into Eric's bag and give that to someone here and hope that they don't burn it. So, here goes.
I jump off boats, I jump off boats.
I jump off boats, I jump off boats.
Yeah.
I was so excited about having done that.
Jumped
I
off the
felt
boat.
so proud of myself. Satu, dua, tiga.
Okay, so let's do some pictures. And I do think I have quite a few from this, and I'm pretty sure I did export them. Okay, wonderful. Every week I push the wrong button. It is Option spacebar. I think I have to do it like this first. There we go. Just a picture on the, I didn't know, sometimes I don't know what we had video of. So it maybe seems redundant, but anyway.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, a picture of the subway. This was one of the things that we did when, oh, hey, good morning. Can't stay to watch the videos. I'm actually behind in us watching this. Okay. This was in Bogor.
I feel like in Bogor, I bought a new bag. Like the brown and tan
Oh,
bag.
yeah, maybe you did get that
Something
there.
happened, and then I remember purchasing that bag, and then I have like a weird, very crowded, busy.
Like a market or
I
something?
don't know if it was here or not, but I have a very like vivid memory of like weird chaos, and like there's a museum, and there's also buying a bag somewhere. That doesn't make any sense. That's a hand?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like a sloth, one of those giant sloths or something.
Yeah, so I don't remember why exactly I got you to come. Is that a bent tail on the cat? I never noticed that.
I don't know if that's a cat.
It's a cat.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, maybe it is.
It's a mammalia at the very least.
It is a mammalia.
Ohio.
Another one of your key photos.
I am feeling better, but not fixed.
Visited the yoga store near the museum. Yeah, I have no idea. It's so long ago. I hardly remember any of that at all. This is in the airport, I think, in Bali. I think we're sitting there like trying to figure out how to get to hotels and stuff.
Eric, you love me.
Yeah, you're pretty cool.
Look at your face. Or you either love me or you're really happy with whatever you're doing. Whatever weird
Maybe
thing
both.
you're doing. Yeah. I guess it could be both.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just playing with the camera at this point, probably. Oh, so maybe that's the airport in Jakarta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because that's, I think, in Jakarta as well. You smell the snacks in the bag.
Smell through the bag.
Smell in the bag, baby. Yeah, the guys who's smoking. This is funny. This made me laugh. Just that flight headed out over Java, and that would have been
the blur and the clarity on this. It's interesting.
The picture. I actually fixed this picture. It's like dark red in reality. I color fixed.
It feels like a miniatures picture.
Yeah. So this was with us. What would have been us landing in Bali, and then that's the next day, arriving on Flores.
They had a pretty dress on.
Did she?
Mm-hmm. One stepping off. It looks pretty.
Hotel Bajo. That's where we stayed for those 3 days. See, I told you I had a picture of you and a cat hanging out. And this is the cat that made you
tell
nauseous.
Everybody how I act with cats now.
Yeah, you don't like cats.
It's not that I don't like them.
I
just don't care.
You are a cat to the cats.
Yeah, I'm definitely a cat to the cats. If the cat comes up, cats pet me now. Cats fucking pet me.
I guess this was when we had the motorbike for that day.
Yeah, that's at the top of that hill.
Yeah, those pants already look terrible. Did we get rained on? Do I look wet or am I just dirty?
We look a little wet.
Yeah, I don't remember. Oh yeah, the ground looks wet.
Durian.
Yeah, durian. Mm-hmm. They elected you. You're the queen of cats.
Possibly. All those that in favor say meow.
I like that picture. Just pictures of us dillying around. I remember going to the beach being like, maybe we'll get to see a Komodo dragon on the island. I remember talking about that.
Bitch, I do not want to see that. Unless that man's there with the stick, I don't want to be around.
I had a bottle of water.
You don't have shit here, son.
You
You have nothing.
I didn't have the bottom of my pants.
Yeah. Oh, look how tucked in you are.
Yeah. I don't fit on these things. Look at my pants they got holes in them already at that point. You ended up sewing them.
I had to sew your pants several times.
Yeah, and they already look like shit. Like I've worn them to death. And we still have like a year.
Months upon months.
yeah, I guess we still have like 10 or 11 months left.
Gauge. You know how your parents used to tell like these crazy stories? Like and we just sit there laughing like, it'll be fine. We won't die. There's not Komodo dragons on this island.
Oh, it's funny. This is a good picture. The color came out really cool. Like, it looks accurate. It's nice. And that's
that looked a little clearer than like more accurate than
to my memory
video.
As well.
Yeah.
Like just going in, this is what it looked like going onto the island. You're just like trolling in on this little island. Maybe this guy went on the island with us. I feel like he didn't though.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
At the very least, I think he just took us to the thing, and then just took us to the area where they start the tour.
Yeah, but you have to walk in for a bit. And like, look at these signs.
All of those would be helpful against
the
dragons.
The locals, the dragons, man. Okay, so somebody did walk with us. Because that's not one of the German dudes. Yeah, but you just get off the boat and you walk across this opened thing like this, and then you end up back in this little area where the rangers have huts. And then you start seeing these things like sitting around. I mean, they're really, really big. How big are they? Like 3 meters? They're like as big as me.
Yeah, they're longer. Some of them were longer than you. Like specifically that one in the middle.
That big long one?
Yeah.
Look at that. Dragon food. You can really kind of actually see how rainy it was at this point. Look at how much water is on the ground.
Yeah. It was like 1.5 Erics. I really do think about everything. Like when people tell me like big numbers, I just divide it by you. And then I go, oh, okay, that's a lot of Erics. And I still have no like feasible idea what that is. I can just understand how many of you there would be.
I do the same thing because it's a clean number too.
It's a clean number. Yeah.
So I think that's a skull.
It is.
Probably a water buffalo skull in the tree.
Well, I don't know what animal it is, but I know it's a skull.
Yeah, look at the rain, dude. It came down really, really hard. And again, like the only person there with any idea what the hell is going on is that dude up in the yellow poncho up there. He's just got a stick. That's all we've got. He's also got the knowledge of like how these things behave and stuff. Hopefully.
We just started working yesterday.
I found a thing face. Katie does. What? Do you understand that sentence?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
More to come. I hope.
Yeah, there he is. Oh, good. We got a picture of him and his stick. But maybe he can tell if they're hungry or something. Or maybe they just know not to like fuck around with groups of people or whatever because they get poked.
You know, I would show this to people and I realized they would not understand this whole scenario. They'd probably just put together that you're at some like park or something or a zoo.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, they wouldn't put all of this together.
You also have to like keep in context. It's hard to express what it felt like because we went through like all the traveling to get to Indonesia, and then we went through all that crazy shit in that one town. And then we went to another town, we changed minds, and we went to another direction, and we took a flight, and then we took a thing and we waited for 3 days. And then we went, like, there's so much additional time and things that just get piled up on top of it all that it makes this situation even more like unworldly. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's hard to express the full feeling of actually going and doing this kind of thing.
Looks great.
Yeah, he does look nice, doesn't he?
You're so prehistoric. Wow. gonna bite your face.
Yeah, and we just walked across this opened area and it just poured at one point. Other than I like the trees with the fog and everything. I just like how that all looks. To me, in my memory, this looks very different than Flores did once we started getting further across it. It looked way more tropical, and this looks, I don't know, like somewhere between the tropics and a desert. There's like a word for it. How much time was there that passed between these videos? That's hard to express. I don't really know. It was not much.
Between the videos that we watched today?
Yeah, between probably like
that
maybe a week. Maybe less?
No, because we were in Labuan, Bajo for 5 days.
So we started on this video would have started on the 10th.
So first video was on the 10th.
And the last one was on the 17th, a week.
Oh, wow. Shit moves quick. And then we're like, God, we're bored.
Time goes at a weird pace, too. Like, it's bizarre. Sometimes things go really fast. Sometimes they go really slow. We were just, like, riffing on Jurassic Park a lot.
Yeah.
And this is us leaving, and we're alone. Like, at this point, I remember nobody was with us. They were just like, okay, walk back.
We don't let the dragons over there.
But, oh no, we being the tourists, because the German guy was with us and he took this picture. I only remember one of them, but we saw two of them here. But I remember the one that was all in black, with a black hat. I remember talking to him. And that was shortly after, maybe, or before, at some point, where you jumped off a boat.
It was after.
And
I'm kind of surprised that they were like jumping with us and stuff.
Oh, they were just having a good time.
But at the same time, like they could have just rode home and had their day, you know? They didn't have to stop and have like a...
Katie, they were from Labuan Bajo. There was fucking nothing to do.
Oh, yeah. Holding hands with a girl and jumping off a boat probably sounds a little like a fun thing to do.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all of the stuff from today. But next week, I will give you a little bit of a spoiler. We've been talking about it on and off, but we ended up going, of course, the same day we went to Rinca and then back to Labuan Bajo where Katie showed the video stuff. We are going to end up riding a motorbike from here all the way over to, not all the way to the edge of the city island, but quite far. I think like somewhere in this area or something. I don't remember how far, but it took us 2 or 3 days to get there and then 2 or 3 days to get back. And we stayed there for a couple days. And the objective was to get to this volcano that had these 3 different lakes in the top of it that are colored different. So that will be what we will be doing next week. And it's a pretty long video. I believe that the next week's video, I ended up re-editing it years later because it was like 6 pieces or something. And I put it into 1 piece because it just made more sense. So we'll be watching the newer version of it just so that, because that's probably the better watch anyways. But yeah, it was next week is like one of my favorite things that we did on the entire trip. So if you can check it out with us, then that's fun. Since I've edited that video, that would have been happened, I don't know, 10 years ago or 9 years ago at this point, like for the second time. I have not seen any of it, and Katie's probably never seen any of it. So yeah, that will be what is coming next. And
oh, I missed it. Go over it again.
I'll go over it again.
No, I'm just messing with you.
You didn't miss it. You went on the trip.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's all that we have for this evening. So we will pick this up next week, probably, unless there's a reason that we can't.
Next week is good.
There will be a couple of weeks in December where we won't be able to do these because we're not going to be in town. We're going to be traveling. But yeah, we'll pick this up next week. And I should be still doing my Sunday stream Sunday morning. And I think I might go stream on Friday as well because I'm going into the city. So I might stream Friday morning as well, like outside, but I'm not sure yet. But yeah, just keep an eye out if you're into that kind of thing. But you have anything else?
Friday morning I'm going to be in class, so won't be streaming with you.
I have my motorcycle test on Thursday. Anyway,
You could rent a motorcycle on Friday.
will we stream the meetup? Probably not. I don't think that everybody wants a camera in their face.
I don't want to stream the meetup. I just want to chill with people.
Mm.
It's going to be live with them. So come to Japan and come to such a meetup and get up on that.
All right, guys, we'll take off. Hope everybody has a wonderful time, and we will hopefully see you next time we stream or next week or whenever. Bye.
Bye.